Very pleasant morning, dear students. As we have learnt tenses, the first portion of tenses is present tense. Under present tense, all four forms we have already been read. Those are simple present or present indefinite, present continuous tense, present perfect and present perfect continuous tense. As we were learning tenses, I said to you there are certain uses of tenses. Tense indicates the time as we have learned it, and the exact tense form is used to express certain period of time or certain time of the day or certain time of the period. Okay, in today's class also we will be going through past tense. When we come to past tense, there are four different forms again. What are those? Simple past, past continuous, past perfect and past perfect continuous tense. You might be getting bored to learn tenses again because consecutively I started teaching you tenses, all present forms of tenses. Understand? And today I just wanted to introduce the simple past, and I just wanted to move with expert detectives from your textbook, lesson number, it might be 6th or 7th lesson. If you open your textbooks, you come across it is 6th lesson, that is expert detectives. Before we get into expert detectives, let me introduce the tense form simple past. As the term itself will give you an idea what is simple past. We use a simple past. When to be used, how to be used, and where to be used, you need to know. First of all, we should know when to be used. Okay, we use a simple past tense in order to express something that had happened in the past. Any action that is completed in the past time can be expressed in simple past. Understand? Any activity or any action performed in the past can be expressed in simple past tense. Okay, the past actions can also be expressed using past perfect. But when exactly this past perfect can be used, I'll discuss with you whenever we come across past perfect tense. But let me go through simple past. Okay, today's topic is tenses again. Under tenses, we go through simple past. We use the simple past to express the action that is completed in the past. For that, we need to use a structure. As I told you, in order to construct any meaningful or a sensible sentence, you need to construct or you need to frame a sentence, okay, sensibly, means having sense. Okay, it should give proper meaning. For that, we require to have three parts: subject, verb and object. As I told you before, subject as well as object or either noun or a pronoun. And when it comes to verb part, okay, so when we are learning tenses, we have a great concern regarding verb. Okay, so when we express the past completed actions, okay, as we have learned in present perfect tense, past completed actions and present completed actions. Present completed actions can be expressed in present perfect. Past completed actions can be expressed either in simple past or in past perfect. Okay, today we learn simple past. What is the structure, you know? Subject plus V2 plus object. Once again, subject plus V2 plus object. Both subject and object can be a noun or a pronoun, and the verb that you use in simple past must be in its V2 form. As I told you before, verb has got 5 forms: base form or present form, V1, V2 past form, that's what we are discussing now, V3 past participle, V4 present participle, and V5 is simple present. V1 base form or present form, V2 past form, V3 past participle, V4 is present participle, and V5 is simple present or present indefinite. Let's move on. Subject plus V2 plus object. What's that? subject plus V2 plus object. Okay, for example, my mother baked a cake yesterday. My mother baked a cake yesterday. Okay, once, ONCE once. You are not talking about now. Once upon a time, or the past time you are referring, saying once. Once there lived a king who was very kind to people. Once there lived a king who was very kind to people. Okay, he used to rule the people in a very kind manner. Okay, merciful king he was. He used to fulfill all the desires and he used to fulfill all the needs of the people. Okay, once there lived a king who was very kind. The air blew, I closed the windows. The air blew, B-L-E-W, blow, blew, blown. V1 is blow, V2 is blew, B-L-E-W, and V3 is blown, B-L-O-W-N, and V4 is blowing, and V5 is, you see, I just wanted to give you one more example in order to make you understand. The second one is, I bought a new mobile yesterday. I bought a new mobile yesterday. See, unless you mention the time of action, it will not be considered simple past. Okay, certain grammarians, if you say that I did, finished, if you say like that, it can't be considered as a simple past. Whenever you wanted to refer simple past, you need to express the exact action, exact time of action. That's very much important. The other one is, one more example I just wanted to quote. They painted the wall some 2 days ago. When did they paint the wall? They painted the wall some 2 days ago. Some 2 days ago they have painted. It means something that is done. What is that is? Painting of the wall. Painting of the wall is happened some 2 days ago. It gives you an idea how simple past can be used. When do we use simple past? Something that is performed, an action that is performed in the past, okay, and it is also can be expressed along with the time of action. Unless you use the time of action, it will not be considered the simple past. Have you understood, children? I am expecting more examples from you. What I want to tell you is, you can use certain adverbs of time. So when you are expressing simple past, like once, 2 days ago, couple of days ago, or yesterday, day before yesterday, when, then, when and then also indicates the adverbs of time. So whenever you express the time of action in simple past, don't forget to use the adverbs of time. Is that understood? Let's move on with the lesson number 6, that is expert detectives. I think you love to watch some detective stories or movies on television. Sometimes there are certain series of detective stories, maybe Crime Patrol or something like that, isn't it? And you people are not let to watch certain kinds of detective stories because there is a kind of thrill, as well as it may make you get more wild or violent. That's why your parents or elders never let you watch any detective stories or any thrillers or any horror movies, because it is constitutes some violence in it. Okay, here in this story we come across some detectives. These are the most expert detectives. Expert is adjective and detective is the noun. Expert detectives. What kind of detectives can we come across in this lesson? Expert detectives. They are experts, extraordinary detectives. They are the most skillful detectives. Understand? Before we get to know the characters in this story, let's move on with this. All of you must open textbooks, page number, it's 85. Let's move on. Nishant, a boy of 7 years old, or so called 7 because his name means the 7th note on the musical scale. What does it mean by Nishant? Do you know what does it mean by what is that? Music notes. Okay, some symbols of music you can come across whenever you are buying some instruments, or maybe whenever you are the notes holding stands and all, you could come across the symbols of musical note. Okay, actually Nishant in the sense it means a 7, the 7th note in music. What is that? The 7th note. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. Actually, how many are there? 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. Ni in the sense, Nishant in the sense 7. What's the other name? What's the meaning of the word Nishant? Nishant means the 7th note of music. And his 10-year-old sister Maya are very curious about one Mr. Nath. Okay? And 10-year-old sister Maya is there. So Nishant and Maya are brothers and sisters. And Maya was just 10 years old and Nishant was 7. Who is elder? Nishant or Maya? Maya is elder to Nishant. Okay. And his 10-year-old sister Maya are very curious. Please underline the word curious. Curious means very anxious. What is curious? Anxious. As we come across Nishant in the sense, the 7th note of music. Okay, and both of them would like to do some work. What they wanted to do? They wanted to explore something. They wanted to find out something. That is called detection. What does it mean by detection? Analyze, find out, discover and analyze the things. It's nothing but doing the detection work. And then one day the children marble rolls into Mr. Nath's room. Who was there? Mr. Nath also. They are very, very curious about one man. His name is Mr. Nath. Then one day the children's marbles rolls into Mr. Nath's room. Actually, Mr. Nath is joined in one of the rooms of the hospital. Actually, Maya and Nishant's mother is a doctor. She's a lady doctor, and she was treating the patient named Mr. Nath. And Mr. Nath was staying in one of the rooms of the hospital. And when they were playing with the marbles, maybe there were no caretakers at home. That's why these two kids also came along with mother because she was a doctor. They have come to the nursing home where Mr. Nath was staying in one of the rooms. Okay. While they were playing with the marbles, one of the marble stone got into the room of Mr. Nath. Okay. And Mr. Nath and Nishant gets a chance to see him. Actually, being a small little kid, Maya was elder to Mr. Nishant, Master Nishant, but Nishant only made an attempt to get into the room of Mr. Nath. He had got a chance to see Mr. Nath. How was he? Is he a crook on the run? He looks as if he was a thief who had ran away. Who was he? He was looking, he seems that he had run away. That means a thief who had been gone missing. And why is his face badly scared? Actually, his face was badly scarred. Scars are there. Do you know what does it mean by scar? Scar means the mark that is left behind when you met with an accident. When you met with an accident, if any mark of injury that is left after getting healed. Okay, after getting healed, whatever the marks that are left on our body are called scar. This Mr. Nath's body, especially his face, was completely got the scars on it. Why has he no friends? He had no friends at all. Mr. Nath had no friends. Nishant's mother was a doctor, knows Mr. Nath as a patient who is very polite. Mr. Nath seems to be a bad charactered man or seems to be a thief But was he really a thief or was he a gentleman? But according to the doctor, Maya and Nishant's mother as a doctor, according to her, this man was such a polite personality. Okay, and we will get into this lesson in the next video. Until then, you need to practice a simple past and send me the homework. You are requested to read this lesson and get ready for the next class. Until then, goodbye children, take care.